Well, good evening, everybody. It's been another very busy day and a hot day. I actually did a lot of mowing today, and we actually did a lot of videoing my new mow machine that I used, and I want to talk a lot about that and the problems I've had with it and the solutions that I've seemed to have been able to come up with. But that probably won't be on today's video. I might wait and put that on Monday's video because today we've got a few other things I want to share. Nothing big, but I'm tired and I don't really want to take the time to make too long a video. So that's what I'm thinking about. Brenda is coming out with a milkshake that she just made up for me and us. So I'm mighty thankful for that. So what have we got for a milkshake tonight, Brenda?
This is raspberry.
Thank you so much.
Red raspberry.
Should make one of these once in a while, and I really enjoy them. Especially after a hot day in the hayfields. And as you can see off to my left here, we got a little bunch of wood here, but it's just really too warm to even bother having a fire, so we'll wait for another time to do that. So anyways, like I said, well, to start with, as you can see, Brenda is home from Scotland.
Hi, everybody.
So Brenda, why don't you just give a quick summary of your trip?
Well, I don't know if I want to give a summary, but, well, I guess I could real quick. I had a really great time. We had a fantastic time, and we were mostly on the coast, the northeast coast. I didn't know where we were going to stay. They surprised me. We stayed in this little fishing town for almost the whole time. It's called Crivy, and there's a town just around the bend called Gamry or Gardenstown, and we could walk back and forth between the towns right on the water, and we loved it there. It was really great. And then we'd take day trips to different places, and we went to some castles. We did some hiking and saw some wildlife, some seals and some gannets. We saw we went up to the Highlands for a little bit, and we just had a fantastic time. Saw quite a few castles, and we kind of looked into the Gordon ancestry. Went to Jim's great grandfather's castle, Huntley Castle, and we found out there were horse stalls there. So that was really cool. And we just got back yesterday, so feeling the effects of that, but everything grew so much around here, and it's just wonderful to be back.
Good. Wonderful to have her back. So she had said she may or may not actually put together some of the pictures and show it in an upcoming video. No guarantees on that, but maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
Abby, our daughter, also has a YouTube channel, and it's called A Drill and a Dream, and I'm pretty sure is putting up a video.
Yeah, she is.
That.
So you'll have to check out her channel, because I know she did a lot more of little video clips and is putting them together. I took pictures more, but.
So like I said, I mowed hay today. It was down on the lower farm, but yesterday we had to rake a lot of hay. I had two different fields. One is my new seeding from this year, so I had a lot of oat hay in also, and we cut that a few days ago and raked it yesterday, and we actually round baled it last night. So I had to wrap all that last night. So it was a very long day for me to get everything wrapped up. We have a corner field over here that we started baling off with my square baler, and we got a couple loads done, and then the baler broke down again. So we had to finish that with the round bales too. So we've been having our share of troubles with our old baler. So anyways, let's jump to the hayfield, and maybe there's some things I can talk about on the video of us raking hay with Baron and Earl, I believe it was, is who we had. I didn't ask you, or you didn't tell everybody what you thought of Libby.
Oh, she's a really nice little filly. She seems like she's bigger than the other foals at this age.
Taller.
Taller, yeah. She's probably not bigger.
I don't know about bigger.
But I was amazed how well she led this morning.
Yeah, so Brenda came out, and I've been trying to lead her every morning for a little bit, but I think I've only had to halt her on 4 different times. And so on this video, it was the 7th day that she was born. I mean, she's only 1 week old, and so she's doing extremely well. So we'll go to this short little video that Brenda did on her phone first thing this morning. Hey. 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 Come here. Hey. Oh. 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 One more down. Oh. I did want to answer at least one question that I thought of that I wanted to talk about. I have had several people that have put on comments and saying kind of, I don't know, sarcastically, I guess you could say, the fact of why bother having her if you're just going to sell her? And well, that's obviously not a question given by a farmer, because farmers know that we raise livestock to sell, and so that's what we do. Now, with Libby, I may not sell her. I may keep her. I know people have questioned why I sold Bree and June, but they are so close. I mean, it's just 2 years difference there with Bree, and I'm going to have too many horses of working age. So maybe by the time Libby and a potential brother or sister of her comes along, then I'll be ready for them more so than I would have been with Bree and June. So, but I'm not promising I'm going to keep her. As of right now, I'm thinking I will. But yeah, it's just going to depend. And you guys are just going to have to wait and see if you are interested and want to know what I do with her. So here we are starting to rake. in my new seeding, and at this end of the field it was a little bit sparse, but that's okay. It was a little bit wetter than the rest of the field, so that's why it's sparse, not so much grass growing there. So since I'm going to be round baling and wrapping this hay, we have to double windrow it. So I will go up to the end of the field, or the end of this row here, and turn around and come right back along the same row. So I've got a question for all you guys that watch my videos. I'm curious, so let me know in the comments how many people have raked with horses, and what were the names of the horses that you used to use, or even use today if you're still raking with horses. Raking is one of the jobs I really enjoy doing, and I'm sure anyone else that's done it would really enjoy it also. We have been blessed with enough rain so that the crops have done really well. Off to our left is the new seeding from last year, and we've already cut the hay off it, of course, but the new regrowth is coming up, and it just looks incredibly good. I remember years ago my father saying that he wished he had taken a picture and put in the name of every single horse he has owned, because he owned a lot of horses, and he suggested that I would do that for the horses that I own, because I was just starting to get into it at that time, and I have taken pictures, and I know an awful lot of the horses that I have owned over the years, but I surely haven't taken a picture or could recall every single horse I've ever had. And I must say I regret also not doing that, to be able to say there's a horse I owned back in, say, 1982 or whatever. It would have been really neat to have that all that information, stored up on a paper or somewhere, so that I could tell you guys how many horses I've actually been out raking with. Here's a quick little story. It just came to my mind many years ago. This was something that happened to Brenda while she was raking hay. I remember we were doing a job away from the farm. This was back in Vermont, and I think we were married at the time. It was a long time ago. We probably were, but very newly married, and we were cutting this hay on this friend of ours fields, and I was over in the corner chatting with him while Brenda was doing the raking. And I remember she was using my pair of stallions that I had, Rowdy and Andy. And she got towards the center of the field and she turned the corner too sharp. And didn't that rake get caught in the car? And it flipped it right over. And I remember she jumped right off, if I recall, and hollered ho. And I was so far away, I couldn't do a thing about it. I couldn't get there in time. But she was able to keep them under control. They were a great pair of horses, and no harm was done. So I'm curious even if she can remember that, but I'm sure she can. So this type of rake is actually the only type of rake I've ever used that I recall. I know I've seen a lot of dump rakes back on the small farms in Vermont, but I've never used a dump rake. Also out west, I know there's a lot of big, I guess they still call them rakes, that they push the hay around with, and of course I've never done that either. So you guys that have used the dump rake and used the buck rake, that's what it's called, put in the comments what you think of it and the difference between those type of rakes and the rakes that I'm using. So this is the type of turn that Brenda would have been doing years ago when the cart got caught up in the rake and flipped over. And they are kind of a tricky turn to make. You have to be very careful you don't turn too sharp, but this particular rake and this particular cart allows the tires to go right directly underneath the front of the rake, so you can turn an extremely sharp corner without any problems. So this, like I said, is new seeding, but it's mostly oat hay. And oats are a good crop, can be used for horses, especially if they're made into dry hay. But this is going to be wet hay, so it will be fed only to the cows. Boy, I feel I have a lot of questions for you guys today. So I'm curious if you could let me know even in the comments below, what is, in your opinion, is the best time to cut oats for baleage? Is it in the boot stage before it actually comes to head, or is it after it comes to head, or is it after it comes to head and turns into the milk stage, or even the dough stage, or even into almost grain? This here was probably just barely headed out. I'm quite sure it wasn't in the milk stage yet, so it's a little bit earlier than I have cut it some years, but I feel it might be better this way. And as I think about it, it might have been even better if I'd done it in the boot stage, which is before it actually comes to head. So let me know what you guys think. So we're coming to the end of the raking process, and later in the day we baled it up and we ended up with 15 bales. Now with our wrapped hay, we make 4x4 bales. When I'm making dry hay, I usually make 5x4 bales. Now that's the size of the bales. They're all 4 foot wide, but we can make whatever diameter we want. For the wet hay, we need to keep it at around 4 feet, because any bigger than that, it's almost too hard for the wrapper to handle it. So that's what we do. But the dry hay, when I make dry hay, I usually have my neighbor make them into bigger bales, so they're usually 5x4s. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. We shall see you next time, and hopefully even Monday we'll try to have a video out on my new mow machine and the progress I've made with that. So have a good one. We'll see you next time.